Good evening, President Logan and Superintendent Allison and members of the board. We have a nice group of people behind us with lots of matching shirts, and we're excited to meet them. These are our high school students that will represent Wichita Public Schools on the Mayor's Youth Council. And we wanted to take an opportunity tonight to introduce you to them and for them to share what they're looking forward to this next year. So I'd like to invite Bill Faflick and Patty Stever forward, as well as the members of the Mayor's Youth Council.
Good evening, President Logan, members of the board, Superintendent Allison, Dr. Thompson. It is certainly my privilege to bring to you some of the best of the best. You know what I think about the Wichita Public School kids. They are fabulous, and we have some of the very best with us this evening. Tonight, we get to recognize those students who represent the Wichita Public Schools as members of the Mayor's Youth Council. Mayor's Youth Council was started in 2008 by Mayor Carl Brewer, and it provides youth with the opportunity to weigh in on community issues and to learn about city government. In other words, our kids learn about what it takes to be a leader, and what a great lesson it is for them to learn at an early age so they can support our school district and they will learn how to support our community throughout their entire lives. We are pleased to work with Logan Bradshaw, who is the City of Wichita Mayor Youth Council Coordinator, unable to join us this evening, but we do have Rachel Miner from Mirror Inc., and Mirror Inc. is our co-sponsor with the City of Wichita for Mayor's Youth Council. We're all about kids, so we'll start with the introduction of those students that are here this evening. I'm going to give you the whole list of students so that we can recognize them, whether they're present or not. We do have a number of them here this evening. If they'll step forward, we can and wave. We'll do that, or I'm going to go by school. First of all, we have from East High, representing the Blue Aces, Maitri Ajmera, Kaylee Brown, Maya Brown. Don't be shy. There we go. Christelle Nassif, Julian Perez, and Mary Renteria Vargas. From Heights High School, we have Aljano Roberts. From North High School, we have Jonathan Esquina and Ethan Manlove. From Northeast Magnet, we have Abraham Arias, Gianna Cousin, Sharia Daniels, Morgan Henderson, and Cameron Keeber. From South High School, home of the Titans, we have Laura Jaquez, Nicholas Quinones, Antonio Cimental, and Emily Winterhalter. From Southeast High School, Paulina Castaneda, Julia Din, Alexandria Hines, Erica Hines, Con Lee, Karen Nguyen, Kelly Nguyen, and Lee Vong. We have fabulous kids. Would you join me in congratulating them and thanking them for their service? We've asked Rachel to share just a few words and to introduce our president for this year.
I'd like to thank each of you for making such great kids at your school district. Every year we have just amazing kids coming out of the 259 district. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our mayor this year, Paulina Castaneda, to share a few words about what we're doing this year.
Bend it a little bit, kind of short. Good afternoon. My name is Paulina Castaneda, and I represent Southeast High School, the best of the best. Mayor's Youth Council is hosting a couple events. This Saturday, we will be hosting and fundraising for the homeless by selling boba tea at Asian Festival. So you guys are welcome to come and support us. And then we will be hosting Junior Jumpstart, which is like all USD 259 schools are invited December the 2nd to come and talk about drug abuse and staying clean and the importance of staying clean, sorry. And then our Legislative Affairs Committee is initiating a plan or campaign to get the youth to vote. And then our Executive Committee will be shadowing elected officials such as the mayor and vice mayor. Thank you.
I know this work does not go on without the support of Patty Stever. And Patty is here in the back, and thank you, Patty, for all your leadership, but also from the families and from the staff that support this program. If we have family and staff members here, would you please stand so we can thank you and recognize you for sending us great kids? Maybe we don't have. I know we have some staff. And thank you to the Board of Education for supporting our schools and the programs that we do to help build leaders so that they can be strong and prepared to lead into the future. Well done. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations to all of you. We're very proud of you. I know you will represent us well. You always have, and I know that'll happen this year again. So congratulations.
And knowing that you guys have homework, you're free to leave at this point in time. You don't have to hang around.
Great group of kids. Very honored to have them represent us for the Mayor's Youth Council. Also tonight, we'd like to recognize 10 schools that have received the Let's Move Active School Awards, and this is a national award for not only having spectacular PE programs, but for initiating a culture of fitness and staying active throughout the building. And so I would like to invite Mary Copeland and Diane Smith forward to talk about this great award that these schools have earned.
Good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity to recognize these teachers. They've gone definitely above and beyond. We have 10 schools, as was mentioned, that have received the National Let's Move Active Schools Recognition Award. And to qualify for this, they must document their efforts to promote physical activity for 60 minutes a day. This is done through their physical education programs as well as during school, before school, after school. We have with us this evening Rhonda Holt, former USD 259 physical education teacher, and she's also the program director for Let's Move Active Kansas Schools. So I'm gonna turn it over to her and let her talk a little bit more about it, because this is definitely her baby, and I want to make sure everything's covered the way it needs to be.
Well, first of all, we have to practice what we preach. So everybody stand up. Yeah, and I was at a school this afternoon and they ended with, I'll meet you on the parking lot for a mile run. We won't do that. But okay, so everybody one finger out and switch to the thumb up. Finger out, thumb up. Now do it with the other hand. Finger out, thumb up. Okay, you've got that. Now let's do both. One thumb up, one finger out. Not both thumbs up. One and the other, and switch. And no guns, okay? Yeah. You can't have like this, because we don't have guns in the school. Finger up, thumb up. Finger, thumb. Some of you got it. If you want a little more challenge, cross your arms and do it. Okay? Now try that.
You are working with a
Okay, you may sit down. What we did was just activate both sides of your brain. See how easy that was? Both sides of your brains are ready to work now. Halfway through the meeting, Cheryl, if you need a little break, I could show you more. I did teach for 33 years in Wichita, and I like to tell people I have absolutely the best retirement job ever because I get to work with teachers like these and teachers across the state on the Let's Move Active Schools project. This initiative is to help kids be physically active for 60 minutes a day, and we look for ways to do that before, during, and after school. As Diane said, we have a national recognition process, and I'm proud that we have 10 schools from Kansas, 13 from Kansas, and 10 of those right here tonight from Wichita. They joined 18 schools that we recognized last year. It is a 2-year process. So that's 28 schools, and I know if we really pushed about 20 to 25 more, they're doing the same things. They just haven't submitted the application. Just to give you an idea of what they're doing, looking for innovative and fun ways to integrate academics into their school day, helping classroom teachers take ownership in not only them providing 60 minutes, but classroom teachers helping achieve those 60 minutes. Looking for ways to make recess more active. A lot of schools, the neat thing that's come out of some of our trainings, a lot of schools are developing indoor recess tubs. So on those days when kids can't get outside because of the weather, they still have the opportunity to be active in a safe and fun way in the classrooms. A lot of schools are doing walking and running programs, and I think one of the things that I'm most proud of, it's not always the PE teachers that are running those. They're supporting those, but we have schools where classroom teachers and principals are taking the ownership of doing those walking and running programs. So that's what we look at with the whole team effort. Also looking for ways to get staff members and parents more involved in the activities. I had the honor today of being at 2 schools and invited some of our trainers to come. We had about 55 at one school and 25 at the other, so I can tell you a lot of teachers were moving in their schools this afternoon and laughing and having fun. We know with all the current research that's available that active kids do better, not only academically, but physically and emotionally. And it's because of that that we're excited to recognize these teachers tonight. And not just them, but their principals and their teachers that are helping support their efforts. Let's Move Active School is the perfect tool to help us get kids up moving and help change the culture in schools where physical activity is the norm, not the exception. So that's great news because ultimately our kids are the ones that are the real winners. So let's celebrate and recognize these 10 schools.
First, we have Black Elementary, Josie Fries and Shelley Voss. Please step forward. Bostick Elementary, Tracy Taylor. Earhart is our next school. Both of those teachers were unable to make it tonight, but that's Randy McVeigh and Megan Westfall. Enders Elementary, Tammy Hogue and Emily Russell. Jefferson Elementary, Terry Ruland and Emily Russell again. She gets to travel, so she gets to help out 2 schools. Lawrence Elementary, Blake Taylor and Austin Bumgarner. Mayberry Middle School, Paula Hickman and Terry Couch. McLean Elementary, Jack Dornbos. OK Elementary, Demarla Martinez and Drew Beisel. And Riverside Elementary, Deb Puga. Thank you all for your extra efforts.
You all represent just a portion of our excellent teachers out in our buildings that are going over and above and doing extra things to help our kids. So thank you very much. Susan, next item.
And then finally this evening, we want to recognize the counseling staff at South High School. They have received the highest distinction in Kansas for the work that they do to help our students. And I would like to invite Bill Faflick forward along with those great counselors to talk a little bit more about what this distinction is.
Well, good evening again. Dr. Guthrie and I are very pleased to bring this item before you this evening. Certainly, I talk about fabulous kids in the Wichita Public Schools, and that happens because we have incredible staff dedicated to making a difference for our students. And sometimes our staff work with small groups of 3 or 4, and sometimes larger groups of 30 or 40, and sometimes 300, sometimes up to schools of 2,000. But they do that faithfully, and they do that without complaining, and they do that at the very highest level possible. And tonight, we have the opportunity to honor such a group, the Wichita South High School counseling team. And I am very proud to share with you that they have earned the Standard of Excellence in School Counseling Award, which is an award that has actually 3 levels of distinction, with the highest being the Distinguished School Counseling Program. The counselors at Wichita South earned this distinction and became the very first school counseling program in the state of Kansas to be recognized as a distinguished school counseling program. This South program is an example of excellence in school counseling, with counselors having fulfilled a very rigorous process that includes fully and effectively implementing the Kansas Comprehensive Counseling Model. We are very pleased to have with us this evening Melanie Kaiser, Cody Dickman, Tammy Niffen, and Belinda Tummins. Please applaud. Absolutely appropriate. These 4 counselors were recognized at the June 1 State Counseling Conference in Manhattan, Kansas. And they have the full support and gratitude of the South High administrative team, Dr. Guthrie and Student Support Services, and the secondary school offices for a job well done, making a difference for our students each and every day, preparing them for a lifetime of opportunity. So to my 4 counselors at South High School, thank you, job well done. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you very much. That's wonderful. We recognize greatness within our own district. So thank you.